Excuse me. Okay, so first things first, right? Very strong weekly closure. Technically, you know, just looking at it just off the bat, where is this? Okay, off the bat, right? We're not even in a premium here. Right, I mean, we're pretty much right around equilibrium. So as I'm diving in, right, just gonna follow up from what we talked about on Tuesday. Okay, so we know our overall structure is still bearish. Okay, it's just a matter of whether or not we're gonna get a deep retracement or not. Why? Because we're entirely bearish, right? Still bearish from all scales. So, right, as we're following intraday, right, pretty much just showing what we talked about on Tuesday, right, we needed, you know, these structure breaks in order to begin that pullback, okay? So, as we're looking at structure, right, this is essentially your initial range that took out previous structure, right, came back into a premium, even mitigated that premium, right, but this is not my high. Oh, based off of this time frame, I don't know what that is. Okay, based off this time frame, right, neither of these two are structure points, right? I'm looking at both legs here. Okay, so technically from an intraday perspective, we're still bullish, right? But the thing is you can say we're in this range currently, but, right, I'm looking also at the ranges inside of the range, right? So that means this, right, considered a range and considered a range, right? So we came back for the continuation here, right? Gave a reaction, did not hold, right? This is now unwillingness because we led to a bearish structure break, right? So although this is still bullish, right, pretty much the legs inside of the leg are essentially showing bearish signs. So, right, if this then that, right, if we're currently looking at what we were talking about, right, which was the 15-minute, right, remember what we said, this, right, I wouldn't see that as bullish structure breaks because this is where my leg started. Okay, so remember what we said, I would like to see this, not necessarily this, right? So because we got it to the T, right, that signifies to me bearish order flow, okay? So this has now created a new full range, right? So even if we start seeing any type of pullback, right, I would still see this to essentially continue lower, but I wouldn't want to see a very strong push. Why? Because we're still technically inside of this full range. Okay, so I'm correlating both to try to make it make sense to me, right? But as I'm continuing order flow here, let's go to the 5. Okay, come on. Okay, as I'm looking here, right, there was, what time frame was it? Was it the 30? Okay, yeah. So you see here, inefficient pricing. That's what this came to the 22nd, which is yesterday morning. Okay, that's what this came to yesterday morning. Reacted, right? So if I'm looking at this immediate range and I want this order flow to continue, right? If this breaks, right, bearish order flow is now not intact. Okay, so it's pretty 50-50, right? It just depends on how we open and how we react. So for all we know, this could literally open and give some stupid bullish move, right? And then start to react from anywhere up here, right? But in terms of continuation, what I can only assume is that this inefficiency reaction is still in play. So as I'm zooming in there, right, pretty much it was in between this wick and this wick, right, came here, right here, this is the range that took a previous structure from this time frame, which would be considered probably like a scalp. I don't really pay attention too much to, I don't like I say, you know, I say scalp, I say minor intraday, I say major intraday, but as long as I know that I'm essentially collaborating and, you know, essentially making them all connect, right, that's more so what I care about. I don't care about specifically finding out which kind of structural level is which kind of structural level. So if you guys are ever confused with that, as long as you know you're correlating all the different structures, whether you even have designated time frames like 5 minute, hour, 4 hour, as long as you know you're correlating them and it's making sense, that's all really that matters. You don't really need to focus too much on the specifics onto which structural level is which time frame, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, right, we see this bullish push, we see the pullback, we now see the unwillingness here. Okay, right, this unwillingness created, right, essentially a structure break based off of this low. Okay, so we've now came back into the pullback, right? You can see final push, then you see a candle, then you see this wick here. Okay, so the reaction based off that wick is signifying to me bearish order flow. Okay, so right, this high or lower high has not created a new low yet, so it's not sustained yet, right? It's not a legitimate lower high to me, right? So as long as we start breaking here, right, now this is my higher low creating this, right? But, you know, we can see two different things. We could see this scenario, which makes a lot more sense to me because it's pretty much fitting the picture to me. Or you could see, right, you could see this, right, as that bearish structure break based off of this low. We now get a pullback. We now get unwillingness. This could be scenario 2, right? Unwillingness, right? And for all we know, we can feel inefficiency here, try to find some type of candle inside of here. Right, doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Still doesn't look like it. Okay, yeah, so there's no true candle there for me. So I probably wouldn't reference that candle. I'd probably only reference the potential inefficiency fill here. That would be probably a fill of inefficiency from here and here, right? But we already pretty much tapped 50% here, so it'd probably be the fulfillment there. So for all we know, this could be unwillingness, right? We react from here, take out previous high. This is now considered your low. This would now be considered a low. And if price comes back, reacts, takes structure, that would be a new high. Right, so I'm pretty much being reactive here. Like I said, if this then that, if this then that. Preferably, you know, I'd like to keep this bearish. Makes more sense to me, right? Because of what we explained previously. Goes back to EURUSD. EURUSD is a lot more messier, right? Like even though right here technically we had a pretty nice scenario where you pretty much took structure here, right? Came back. I believe it was like an M3 inefficiency right there. Yeah, right there. Inefficiency fill, right? Break of structure, right? Came back, mitigated that, but is in unwillingness right now, and it's just stalling. Okay, so it's a lot messier, right? But based off, you know, closures, it still looks like this could be bearish unless we finally break these actual ranges. If we finally break here, that would be perfect because this is the final range there, right? Although the essential immediate range here has already been tested or broken, I'm sorry, right? Whereas these would be the ranges inside, pullback, unwillingness, break of structure, right? So you can easily see something like that. And the reason why I'm really sticking to this was because of what we mentioned on Tuesday, which was this, the 15-minute reaction here. That's what's really signifying to me bearish order flow. That's what matters to me, right? And because we gave a strong reaction, although we're essentially messy right here, who's to say, you know, we don't get that 5-minute inefficiency we're talking about, get into a premium, get into something up here, and then give us a real scenario down, right? But if we get that scenario down, right, if we get that scenario down, we now have a structural range here, and we've now broken the full range, right, which will now give us a highly probable scenario to really see downside. Okay, so like I said, reactive playing, pretty much reactive plays, nothing too sure yet, right? Just trying to see how closures work, open, and I mean how the new week opens, and how, you know, how those next couple closures are. Final one, EURGBP, right? Remember we were talking about taking out liquidity here, taking out liquidity, all the liquidity sitting below this, which I still think this isn't done. We could see a pullback maybe, just to go lower. Could do anything like that, right? No reason to believe you're bullish on this, right? Especially because, right, we've now officially created, right? So although this was our previous bullish range, right, we've now had an unwillingness here, right, which led to a structure break here, right? So finally, after fucking, what is this, a long time, we'll just put that, this is finally looking actually bearish, even though we've known it's bearish, but it's finally actually giving those signs that it's actually bearish. And all that originated from what we talked about on Tuesday, right? We were talking about this range here. I believe we were around here. Were we? The 19th? When did we have that call? Yeah, the 19th. We were around here, right? So we were talking about this potential range, that this could continue lower, and it made all the sense in the world. Why? Because we were so close to that daily liquidity down here, and you know, based off the structure, right, we were around here, I believe, during the call, and since we had seen this reaction here, that signified to me that because we broke these previous, this is probably like a M5 low. Yeah, so you see this M5 low had finally been broken here. That has shown to me right, that although we had this range in here, this is now unwillingness. Why? Because we had already given up on those initial structure breaks there and given signs of bearishness. So unwillingness, right, to pretty much release and to essentially give us that pretty much liquidity that was here. And naturally, because we're taking out so much liquidity, you see a bullish reaction. So we could easily see, you know, this be a structure break there and start to see any type of pullback. That would make a lot of sense. And I would love that because it gives us, you know, better pricing to continue lower. Why? Because I could easily see this as showing its hand. Can easily see this as showing its hand. Isn't it a potential distro on the monthly? Yeah, bro. We've pointed that out for like the past couple months, which is why I've been bearish since up here, even up here. Right. I've been bearish since here. Right. It's just I don't like how fucking long this is taking. right? It took a long time, but it's getting there, right? Like like you also said, good things take time. This is taking a long time, right? Yeah, so other than that, very straightforward. Everything was pretty straightforward this week. Yeah, I don't even look at GU anymore. I'm only looking at these two, but I'm still not trading until I finish the course. And I also really want to get organized with school so I can get that routine going and then go from there. So yeah, who's to say we can't catch another swing? Easily, yeah, 200, 300 pips. If we get this pretty much reaction anywhere in a premium up here, right, we're now aiming for long-term these lows. EG spread on CoinEx is not fun. EG spread period is not fun, bro. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, that's just on your broker. Try out some regulated brokers. I know, what's his name? I know Mitchell uses IG. I've never used IG. I don't know how Oanda spreads are, even though Oanda only has 1 to 50 leverage, so I probably wouldn't get with that. Yeah, I didn't like, so Wildcats is actually really reliable, but the one thing I didn't like about Wildcats is that they skip your entries. And even though that's kind of a bad thing, that's actually a good thing, because that actually shows that they're an A-book broker. And once you start messing with withdrawals on there, they like make you fill out like paperwork, which shows they're legit. Yeah, A-book, B-book. Do you know the difference with an A-book, B-book? If you don't know the difference with that, then that's, yeah, do your research, bro. That is regulated versus, no, not even necessarily regulated versus unregulated, because some regulated brokers can make your transactions B-book, and that's actually technically illegal. I think FXCM got a lawsuit because of that a couple years ago. Let's look into that. See, like, this was recent. What else is about the? I know they had some type of lawsuit. I don't know if it was FXCM, but it was a big regulated broker here in the US. Like, they were B-booking a lot of transactions, saw a lot of manipulation. I forgot where I saw it. Yeah, you see, I'm not the only one that heard about it. But you see, like, the issue with a broker is it doesn't necessarily matter if it doesn't really necessarily matter if you're trading unregulated or regulated. You just have to know if they're gonna pay you out or not. That's essentially what you need to know. Like, CoinEx is a lot better than a lot of regulated brokers because they actually pay you out. Like, for example, I think CoinEx calls you or something like that when you're making big withdrawals. And, you know, they just want to confirm, blah, blah, blah. And then you go through. And you see, like, Wildcats, they make you file, I forgot what kind of form it is. They make you do that, and then pretty much, yeah, you go from there. What do you think of this slow market in this session? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. So yeah, when you're pretty much figuring out, not just because a broker's regulated does not mean they're legit, does not mean they're does not mean you're fully protected. Because different licenses, depending on the country that the broker is in, or the broker where it is essentially licensed from, it plays a key role. IC markets, I heard they're doing something where a lot of clients can only access 1 to 50 leverage, so their spreads are good, but that 1 to 50 leverage is Honestly, you'd be fine with 1 to 200. I've never tried 1 to 50. I've only tried 1 to 200 with FX choice. On what broker? Oh, on IC markets, you must choose. Oh, okay. Yeah, you see, I don't know about that stuff. Do you know if Pepperstone did the same thing? I know Pepperstone was really good, but yeah, I've heard really good things about Pepperstone, but all you really need is 1 to 200. If you're trading 2 to 3 pairs, even if you execute on 1% risk on each one, even if your stops are 2 to 3, 4, 5 pips, there's no way you're gonna margin call. If you margin call, period, that's bad. Yeah. And if you want, just open up a demo with a 1 to 200 or 1 to 100 even, and then see how that works. See how your margin works when you're, taking hypothetical trades. But yeah, do you guys have any questions? Anybody? Well, I'm pretty sure everybody here is relatively not that new anyway. Good to see these calls start to show new people. Two months to a year for me, yeah. Actually, no, almost. A little bit more than 2 months. A little bit more than 2 months. Yeah, apparently. Let me see if the twins are on here. They were talking about that. No, the twins aren't on the call. I know you have to speak to them. You have to speak to their customer. I don't know, customer service or whatever they offer there. Yeah, law changes in Australia. I don't know how that affects people in the UK though. Blueberry too. I heard Blueberry's a pretty good broker too. Yeah, a lot of changes. A lot of changes are coming to the EU period. My Facebook. Move over. Yeah. I think the best reviews are definitely for people that are profitable though. Just to make sure you get those payouts. Because from what I know, FX Choice will pay you out. CoinX will pay you out. Wildcats will pay you out. IC Markets will pay you out. Hugo's will pay you out, but I would not get on Hugo's. Hugo's or KOT, get no way. Would not get on those. I've seen ridiculous manipulations on those brokers. Yeah, TradingView brokerages. It's just the thing. I think about TradingView. I think they only offer 1 to 50, 1 to 100 max. In terms of leverage. Pretty sure you could look that up. I've never. Oanda is like 1 to 50. Yeah, you see 1 to 50 to 1 max on forex.com. Because these are all US regulated brokers, I believe. This one doesn't have one. But I've never even heard of this broker. I've never heard of this one. See, I believe Oanda's a 1 to 50. 30 to 1 to 30, I'm sorry. 1 to 30. Maybe it varies also by where you live. Yeah, they even took out the FXCM feed from here. That's weird. Trade Station. CFTC regulated. This is legit broker here. Just doesn't say leverage. Yeah, that's definitely something you guys should definitely look into, though. Really? I guess it varies by where you live. Pretty sure it varies by where you live, because like these brokers are all CFTC regulated, or all pretty much regulated in the US. That's what I'm trying to say. Like for example, the CFTC is like I'm pretty sure it's a U.S. regulation. NFA is also a U.S. regulator. What your faves on crypto? I don't really look at crypto, bro. I don't look at crypto. I should get into it though. The thing is though, is like people think getting into crypto is just looking at Ripple, Ethereum, Bitcoin, you know. The thing about crypto is you have to first know, you have to learn how a blockchain works. You have to know the different types of coins, which there are so many to name. And then not only that, but I wouldn't really want to get in on like Ethereum or Bitcoin these days. I'd rather go into like a coin that's backed by them that actually makes sense as to why it's a long-term investment. Right? So looking into DApps and all that, you know? Let's see, TradeView. Okay, about us. Oh, okay, yeah, they don't offer US. Yeah, they're not offering it for US clients. SEMA. Oh, Cayman Islands. Oh, okay, yep. Yeah, I see this. This is an overseas broker. What kind of leverage is on here? Yeah, you see, I need a VPN to access this website. the hell? Why is this not responding? Okay, yeah, my VPN's not working. Yeah, this isn't working. Oh well. Yeah, but this isn't they don't accept US clients though. What VPN do you use? I use Surfshark. I don't really use it though. I don't have a need to use it. Yeah, I don't really need to use VPNs. All I use this computer for is charting, school, and these calls. But yeah, other than that, do you guys have any questions? We can probably end it off here. Cool. Alright guys, we'll probably continue this on Tuesday. Alright, I need to make that announcement after I upload this call. And we'll go from there. Awesome guys, I'll see you on Tuesday.